All right, we're going to talk about relationships of angles. We've talked about this before in class, but I just want to refresh your memory real quick on some of these. The first type of angle is an acute angle. Notice there's not an S at the end because an acute angle is a single angle. So the definition for that is one angle that has a measurement between 0 and 89 degrees. It's going to be between 0 and 89 degrees of the degree measurement. And then an example of an acute angle. I'm going to draw an example of an acute angle. And then I want you to draw underneath an example of an acute angle. The next one we have is a right angle. Again, it is a single angle because it doesn't have the S at the end. And this is one angle that is exactly 90 degrees. Now there's really only one way to draw a right angle, and that's something like this. And we know it's a right angle because it's going to have that box in the corner, and that tells us that it's a right angle. We cannot say it's a right angle unless it has that box in the corner. We could draw the right angle upside down like this. Putting that box in the corner tells me that it's a right angle. The next one we have is an obtuse angle. Same thing, it is a single angle. So this is one angle that has a measurement between, so we've already covered 0 to 89, we got 90, so this is going to be between 91 and 179. Because 180 is going to be something completely different. So an obtuse angle, if you start with a straight line like this, an obtuse angle would have to go out bigger than a 90-degree angle. So I'm gonna you copy this one and then draw another obtuse angle underneath. Okay, and the last one is a straight angle. Again, it's singular. Sometimes we forget about this one because it's just a straight line, because a straight angle makes 180 degrees. So this is one angle that is exactly 180 degrees. So any straight line that we create is going to have a 180 degree angle right there. So any straight line that you create is going to be 180 degrees. It's also called a straight angle. Straight line, straight angle, they go together. Okay, so there are different relationships that can be formed whenever you put multiple angles together. And that is these two relationships, complementary and supplementary. Now we have to remember that complementary is different than supplementary. Complementary is two or more angles to form a 90-degree angle. Two or more angles that form a 90-degree angle. Now, if you remember in class when we talked about these, sometimes we have a hard time remembering which is which. And if you remember the capital C, if you were to close it off, it will give you the 9 that you're looking for, and that should help remind you that it's a 90-degree angle. So for example, if I have a 90-degree angle and it's split into two angles, like so, go ahead and draw that square in the center there to show that it's a 90-degree angle. This is an acute angle and this is an acute angle. If this angle is 38, what would this angle be? Pause it for a second and see if you can figure it out. Okay, so on the assignment that you're going to be doing in just a little bit, you're going to happen to write an equation. And to write the equation, we need to add these two together because this angle plus this angle makes the full 90. So 38 plus x equals 90 degrees. Now this looks like the one-step equations that we did last week. So you would subtract 38 from both sides. And you would get x equals, we're going to have to do some borrowing here. This is going to be a 10. This is going to become an 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. And 8 minus 3 is 5. So this measurement right here is 52 degrees. Now if we move over to supplementary, supplementary looks a little bit different because supplementary is 2 or more angles to form a 180 degree angle. And we know that 180 degree angle is a straight line. So for example, it would look something like this. So this is an acute angle. This is an obtuse angle. You can tell by the way it's opening that it's going to be greater than 90. And for supplementary, the way I taught you in class is you take the S and you connect the two lines there, and that makes an 8. So that should trigger you that that is 180 degrees. So if I say that this is X and this is 121, you have to be able to tell me what X is. So pause real quick and see if you can figure it out. Okay, so on your assignment, you're going to have to write the equation. And these two angles, X and 121, add up to 180. So this looks like a one step, so I'm going to subtract 121 from both sides. I'm going to have to do some borrowing here. That becomes a 10. This becomes a 7. 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 minus 2 is 5. So the measurement of this missing angle is 59. And we said originally that this was an acute angle, and 59 is an acute angle measurement. So that's a good way to check yourself.